Good day, dearly beloved, and welcome to another day of Bible Expose. I am Omobolaji Akanwe. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and also write your comment. I want you to share in all other social media platforms. Share to your friends, share to your loved ones, share to your followers so that they can have the wisdom that they need to live a fruitful, rewarding, and successful life. We are considering Numbers chapter 14. Remember in Numbers chapter 13, Moses sent out 12 spies into the land of Canaan to go and see whether the land is good for living, whether the land is fertile. And these 12 spies, they went there, they spied the land, and they brought evidence that the land is fertile. They brought it for the people to see. However, 10 out of the 12 spies make bad and negative report that made the people to be afraid. They said that there were giants in the land and they are incapable of confronting the giant, that the giants would destroy them. Now, this made people to be afraid. Although two spies, Joshua and Caleb, they gave the report that let's go ahead and possess the land. We are capable of possessing the land, even though there is this stiff opposition, this great challenge ahead of us. But we have the Lord who is greater than our challenge, and therefore we can face the opposition, we can defeat the opposition, and we can possess the land. However, the people relied on the report of the 10 spies. In fact, this made them to be terrified. And that is what they did in Numbers chapter 14. They were terrified, they were afraid, they started grumbling, and they started cursing Moses that he brought them into the wilderness, he brought them there in order for them to be killed, in order for them to be destroyed, that they were better off in Egypt. And there was grumbling, uproar in the camp, and even Moses was fed up. Joshua was fed up. In fact, his spirit was down out because of the unbelief of the people, because they allowed their fear to overwhelm them and they wanted to go back to Egypt. In fact, they decided to elect a leader that would lead them back to Egypt. That is the extent they wanted to go. And at this point in time, the glory of the Lord descended, and God spoke that he was furious with the people, and he said he would destroy and kill them with plague. However, Moses pleaded with their case. He pleaded with the Lord. He made the Lord to see that people would mock him, that he brought them out of Egypt so that he could destroy them. And God heeded the pleading of Moses. And he, however, promised that those people that do not believe, all of them, none of them will get to Canaan, that they would die in the wilderness, and none of them would get there except for Joshua and Caleb, who had faith, who stood strong, and who were courageous to possess the land. Instantly, now these people organized themselves, and they say out of fear of God now, they wanted to go and possess the land. So they organized themselves into army and went to the land to possess it. But they met their Waterloo. They were chased by the Amalekites. They were chased, and some of them probably lost their life. The people, the 10 spies that brought this negative report, this bad report, God plagued them immediately, and they died because they sowed a seed of fear into the mind of the people. And because God has destined them to take up the land of Canaan, God has destined them to take possession of the land. God has destined them to be an example to other nations around them, so that they will come to worship God. They will come to know their true creator instead of all the false gods they were worshiping. However, because they sowed this fear, this negative belief, unbelief, they sowed it into the mind of the people, they were punished for it. And according to what God has said, those who did not, who rebelled, who grumbled, who were doubtful of what God could do, none of them entered the Canaan land, the promised land. Now, the lesson we should learn from there is that we should not subject ourselves to our fear. There are fears out there in the world. There are challenges that may seem overwhelming. There are challenges that may look so big and we feel so small before those challenges. But once God has proposed you for something, for an assignment, once God has mandated you to carry out an assignment, do not be afraid, because He will be there for you. He would always be there. That's why David said, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. And he also said in another part of Psalm that, for he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear you up, so that you will not dash your foot against a stone. He also said, as mountains surround Jerusalem, so the angels of the Lord encamp around the righteous. So why are you fearful? Why are you afraid? Why don't you summon courage? The God that you serve is bigger than all the challenges. Is bigger than all your problems. God has called you for a purpose. So what is debarring you from moving ahead? What is making you to be afraid to take the step of faith? Consider it. It is rather better to be on the Lord's side and be victorious, rather to be on the side of your fear and lose at the end of the day. So I pray that your mind will be open, and the fear, you will overcome that fear with the faith that the Lord that you serve is greater than your fear, and therefore you shall prosper, you shall be victorious, and you shall succeed. Thank you.